quote, Trump makes people I care about afraid, immigrants, Muslims, etc. Because of this, I find him reprehensible. God wants better of us.
Ooh.
This week in Springfield, buildings were closed because of bomb threats. Haitian immigrants say they are afraid for their lives. Are you now doing the very thing you once called reprehensible, Senator?
The dynamic within the Trump campaign is currently hilarious because Trump keeps forcing JD Vance to do all of the dirty work and go on all of these morning media shows to explain things every time there is a new controversy. So today, JD Vance went on Face the Nation and he went on Meet the Press, and in both interviews, he's strictly running defense for the Trump campaign. He's not waging any new attacks or saying anything clever. He's only defending the campaign against different controversies that have risen over the past few days. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Make sure you leave a like to boost this pro-democracy message, drop some blue hearts, and in this first clip, JD Vance starts it off by playing defense. He says, I don't align with the Proud Boys, but just listen.
Now, you mentioned a Proud Boys march. I imagine that's the clip that I saw yesterday of about a dozen people marching down the street. Of course, I don't align myself with the views of the Proud Boys, Margaret, but we have to remember that this is a real problem. The media is using things like a dozen marchers to ignore and distract from the fact that thanks to Kamala Harris's open borders, there are children who aren't getting a good education. Thanks to her open border, there is a rise in HIV cases in Springfield, Ohio.
Okay, so a few things. The projection here is off the charts. JD Vance says that this is a real problem and the media is trying to distract from that by blowing other things out of proportion, when in reality, that is exactly what JD Vance and Donald Trump did. Yes, there are real problems that arise when a massive amount of new people come into a town. I mean, it puts pressure on the infrastructure. It takes time for everybody to integrate. Of course, these are real problems that can be solved, but JD Vance and Donald Trump blew up this story about Haitians eating cats into a national hoax to draw fear rather than helping solve the real problem. Now, Democrats in Ohio have said right now is a tough time and they are coming together. They need unity. The town needs to work together to supply the resources for everybody, and JD Vance and Donald Trump are working against that. They are actively trying to divide people and sow fear, sow distrust in the officials in Ohio. So that is why the projection is absolutely off the charts. Also, the fact that you start off an interview by saying, I don't align myself with the Proud Boys, but that is not good. I also want to point out that the person who originally started the rumor deleted the post and said they regret it. I think this is worth sharing.
NBC News has now spoken to a woman. Her name is Erica Lee, and she's the woman behind one of those viral posts claiming that her neighbor's cat was kidnapped and saying that it may have been at the hands of Haitian neighbors. She tells us at NBC News she has now deleted the post, that it was wrong, that she misinterpreted a neighbor's story. She just texted me, quote, I messed up royally, and she said she never meant to cause so much hate against this one group of people.
So she made one post based on speculation and deleted that post, admitted it was wrong, and she messed up loyally, but JD Vance and Donald Trump don't care about the information landscape or making sure that it's healthy. Of course, it's laughable to say healthy information landscape and Trump in the same sentence, but they are intentionally doubling down on this rumor, and that's not even the worst interview from today. In this clip, JD Vance perfectly throws Trump under the bus on Meet the Press with Kristen Welker when he implies that Trump either, one, doesn't communicate with him and is an absolutely terrible leader who doesn't talk about abortion, which we know Trump's a terrible leader, or two, they have talked about abortion and Trump was lying about it at the debate. I think Trump was lying. Of course, he and JD Vance have talked about abortion, but we know Trump's a terrible leader too. But watch this clip unfold.
The issue of a federal abortion ban came up in the debate this week, including the comments that you made here on this program last month. Take a look. If such a piece of legislation landed on Donald Trump's desk, would he veto it?
Well, I think it'd be very clear he would not support it. I mean, he said that explicitly. Yeah, I mean, if you're not supporting it as the president of the United States, you fundamentally have to veto it.
So he would veto a federal abortion ban?
I think he would. He said that explicitly, that he would.
And then, Senator, here's what Donald Trump said on the debate stage.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it came to your desk?
Well, I won't have to.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, JD Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with JD, in all fairness. JD, and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't.
Senator Vance, just to clarify once and for all, if Donald Trump were to be elected, if a federal abortion ban were to land on his desk, would he veto it?
Well, Kristen, as you saw the president say, we hadn't discussed it. We still haven't discussed it, by the way, because it's not realistic, Kristen. I think that was the point that he made during the debate. Is he's been incredibly clear that he doesn't support a national abortion ban. He wants abortion policy to be made by the states because he thinks, look, Alabama's going to make a different decision from California, and that's okay. We're a big country. We can disagree. The best way to actually facilitate us coming together, despite that disagreement, is by allowing each individual state to make their own abortion policy. So I think President Trump has been clear. A national abortion ban is not on the table. He wouldn't support it.
Trump has not been clear in any sense when it comes to abortion. He flip-flopped within 24 hours just a few weeks back. And the fact that Donald Trump and JD Vance haven't discussed abortion when Donald Trump is supposed to be this amazing leader who hires the best people is absolutely mind-blowing. And again, I think they have discussed it, and now they are both lying because they're caught saying different things. This entire campaign is melting down because the two candidates have a fundamentally different view on what would happen if an abortion ban came up to the president's desk, and both of them said it publicly, and now they're trying to play cleanup. It's so funny to watch.
He wouldn't sign it, and I think, frankly, Kristen, it's kind of a ridiculous hypothetical, because if
it's not ridiculous.
National abortion ban was brought before the United States Senate right now, it would get at best 10 senators out of 100. So I think we should talk about issues that actually might come before the president, like our approach to lowering energy prices, to lowering grocery prices, to making housing more affordable, which all have gone in the wrong direction under Kamala Harris's policies. His point is that it was a hypothetical, and not a hypothetical that has any chance of actually crossing his desk.
Wait, did I just hear JD Vance say Kamala's name right?
Which all have gone in the wrong direction under Kamala Harris's.
Oh, he said Kamala's name right. I think JD Vance a decade ago is a normal dude who might have been a nice person, nice out in public, and I think the MAGA brainworms have corrupted him so badly that now, not only is he crazy about childless cat ladies, he wants women to know their place. He's an awkward weirdo in public who flip-flops on his positions, but I do think JD Vance might have been a nice dude at one point from older videos that I've seen and stuff I've read from his trans friend from college. I have one more clip of JD Vance talking about immigrants, Muslims.
2016, you said this, quote, Trump makes people I care about afraid, immigrants, Muslims, etc. Because of this, I find him reprehensible. God wants better of us.
Ooh.
This week in Springfield, buildings were closed because of bomb threats. Haitian immigrants say they are afraid for their lives. Are you now doing the very thing you once called reprehensible, Senator?
Well, first of all, Kristen, we condemn all acts of violence and all threats of violence. But, Kristen, the reason that I changed my mind on Donald Trump is actually perfectly highlighted by what's going on in Springfield, because the media and the Kamala Harris campaign, they've been calling the residents of Springfield racist. They've been lying about them. They've been saying that they make up these reports of migrants eating geese, and they completely ignore the public health disaster that is unfolding in Springfield at this very minute.
Senator, what about the Haitian immigrants who say they're
because
afraid?
Donald Trump believes, Kristen, let me finish this point, Kristen, and feel free to follow up. Donald Trump is the only person who brought Springfield to national attention, and is the only president who's going to fight for the residents, not just...
Everything he's saying holds zero credence when the person who originally began it, the person who originally began this hoax, deleted their post and said they messed up royally and never meant to spread this rumor to the national stage. So JD Vance and Donald Trump are grasping at straws right now, just hoping that the American people believe their lies. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit the subscribe button, and have a great day. Peace out.